Hello everyone and welcome to Koha's Acquisitions and Tools module tutorial. The Acquisitions module is used for ordering and purchasing materials, while the Tools module is used for batch lists of patrons, cataloging, and other miscellaneous functions. To begin with, you might want to first set up your Koha preferences and settings. In the Koha manual, sectioned Acquisition module, there is an extensive list that you can look at. However, the settings are mostly preference, so we will just stick to the basic default settings in this tutorial. Also, if you are logged in as an administrator account, you will need to make a patron account or else you won't be able to make a suggestion to purchase later down the road. So be sure to create a patron account and give a super librarian privileges. Diving in, let's click Acquisitions. First step is to create a budget. Click on the Define a Budget link or the Budgets link on the left. Click New Budget, then type in the name, the dates the budget will be active for, the monetary amount, then save changes. There, you will see your budget. Next is to create funds, done in the same way as budgets. Next, onto the vendor. Click Vendors on the left, New Vendor, then type all the information such as the name, address, and other information such as whether you will get a discount or not through them. Also, try to keep the name short, as you won't be able to find them unless you type in their name later on, so try to keep it short. The next tab on the side is Suggestions. Click Suggestions, then, logged in as a patron, click New Purchase Suggestions. Type in the title of the book, author, and try to fill in as much information as possible and give a reason why you think it should be purchased as well as its cost. Next, you can go ahead and approve it. Going back, you can see your suggestions, and at the bottom is a drop-down bar where you can approve or reject the suggestions. On the left is also a drop-down box where, if your library has many suggestions, you can see them based on their status or item type, and then hit Go. Now that we've gotten our approval for the suggestion, go back into the Acquisitions tab, type in the name of your vendor, and you will see the option to make a basket, which you can put materials into order. First, make a basket by clicking New Basket. Type in the name and library and other comments that you want to put in. While you're in Vendors, you can also see Basket Groups, Contracts, Invoices, and Uncertain Prices tabs, which you can also edit. Let's try and order some materials from our patron suggestion. Click Add to Basket. Now click From a Suggestion, then Order. The name should already be filled out at the top, but to be sure, enter most of the item information correctly and then add item, so that way you can proceed on to the next step of ordering. If not, Koha won't let you save or order it. After making sure the prices are correct, click Save and your order is placed. When the order is placed, you can now check out its invoice. Click Invoice on the left and you can see that you can search for the name of it in Actions on the right side. If you just leave the search terms blank, it will bring up all your previous invoices. Knowing the invoice total, you can see from the fund that it was subtracted from the available amount. Now, let's pretend we've received the shipment, and under the Vendor section, you can select Receive Shipments. Type in the date you received it, and then you can see your receipt summary for your order. After you're done reviewing it, press Finish Receiving, and now we are done with the Acquisitions model. The next module, Tools, is pretty self-explanatory based on the text that's provided under each link. There are 3 sections: Patrons and Circulations, Catalog, and Other Tools. In Patrons and Circulations, click New Patron Lists, name it, and then hit Save. Now, search a name and hit the Enter key, and a list of names will appear underneath, and click the one you want to use. However, don't use the full name or else it won't show up at the bottom. Next, in Patrons and Circulations, there's a Comments tab which you can approve. You can import patrons lists, which you can type in manually, or select a file from your computer. There are other tabs you can look through to help you organize your library as well, such as defining default overdue actions and a card creator module, which you can make yourself or use a template with settings on the left. There's also a batch deletion of patrons, where if you have to delete many patrons at once, you can select the reason and the date, whether they've been active or not, and delete them. The same way that there is with deleting many patrons, there's also a batch patron modification, which you will need a file to import. Next, under the Catalog tab, is the item deletion link. Same like the patron deletion link, Item deletion and item modification will all have the same settings and layouts. There is also the setting where you can export bibliographical records as well as inventory and stock taking to keep a better lookout of your materials. A lot of these tabs are extras you can work with, but a lot of it is mostly modifications which you will have to make and create, like the patron card link that we've already discussed. Finally, the last subsection of tools, which is called Other Tools, has a calendar in which you can put holidays in for one or all of the libraries. By clicking on a date, a sub-window will open up, and there you can put the holiday's reason and whether it's recurring or not. There's also system logs where you can look at past actions your staff has performed, and there's also the entry tab, which I like because you can put events up to inform your staff of what's going on, as well as task schedules to keep your time organized. Final tab, the quote editor, I think is a quaint touch where you can also create and import important quotes as well. That concludes the Acquisitions and Tools module tutorial, and I hope you have a better understanding of how to order materials and the available tools Koha offers.